Hi, welcome to our channel. I'm Chanel.
And I'm Ace.
And we are here reviewing the Netflix series Lost in Space. It is a reboot of the original TV series, and I'll give you some background information on that. It lasted from 1965 through 1968. It had 3 seasons and 83 episodes, and the first season was entirely in black and white. They did not have color until 1966, and they had a movie that came out in April of 1998.
I used to watch the old Lost in Space.
And I never watched it. What was it like?
Back then it was called the Golden Age of Television. And there was a reason why they was called that. And it was because it was before focus groups, overbearing corporate sponsors, and greedy shareholders. It was before political correct agendas. It was before product placements in shows. It was before executives focused on selling merchandise.
So are you saying the shows back then are better than the shows now?
They were better for one reason, and it was just because of the storytelling. By today's standards, if you look at something like Star Trek, for instance, which is iconic, people will watch Star Trek today.
Yeah.
However, if you look at Star Trek compared to what we see out now, I mean, you could see better High School Musical productions than Star Trek, but it was the storytelling and not necessarily the special effects or necessarily the elaborate scenery, you know. But that actually it's what made good shows. It was good storytelling, as opposed to the thing I actually hate right now, BST, bad storytelling. BST actually ruins. It ruins publications and productions, because what it does is it's cheating. It's cheating your audience for whatever reason whatsoever, as opposed to just giving them a good story. Okay, one example of that right now is Lost in Space is a remake.
Oh,
It's a remake. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a remake. I mean, it's Lost in Space. So instead of them coming up with a new idea, they come up with something that's old, and I absolutely do not like. I don't like remakes. No.
Is it a remake or is it a new spin on the show?
Well, it is. It is a new spin on the show, because let's give a quick background without any spoilers. This Lost in Space now is, let's say whatever happened on Earth happened, and they've got selected families through tests and whatever procedures. They're chosen to go to Alpha Centauri. So they're sent to the space station, and on this space station something happens, and everyone ends up on this new planet. However, the thing is that if you kind of also look at it, here's another thing about it that I'll say is a negative, is they're not actually lost.
Yeah.
They're not lost in space because they know exactly where they are. It's more like they're stranded without fuel.
Yeah, they know exactly where they are. Like what? Do they know what planet they're on?
They don't know
They don't know what planet it's called, but they know.
Yeah, it's no name for it. It's
located.
uncharted.
Yeah, they know where they're located. They know where they need to get to.
Exactly.
There, and they're not alone. They're with other families.
Right. The first Lost in Space was actually the Robinson family was actually stranded, lost. Not just stranded. They were lost. They're completely lost. They didn't know where they are. They didn't know where they were. They didn't know how to get back. There was no way to get back. You know, they were actually lost.
Yeah, I never watched the last series, but I assumed that they were literally going to be lost in space in this one.
No, not at all. I said there was other families there, and I said they know where they were at. As a matter of fact, the place where they had to get to was only, what was it, 89 minutes away. So not only were you not lost, you were only 89 minutes. It was never spoken about. Did they travel warp speed, light speed, teleport, whatever it was not ever told. However, whatever means of transportation that they have, whatever means of travel they have, 89 minutes away. So, I mean, that's like that's like a few states away, a state away. So, I mean, it wasn't really, it's the whole Lost in Space thing is it's just not there. And the reason why, his thing I don't like about remake, to me, I said, it's bad story writing, and it's like the writers are not trying hard enough to actually do something compelling to actually, engage with the audience. It'd be like, one more thing I want to say. It'd be like if 50 years from now, someone said, "Hey, let's make a remake of Game of Thrones or a remake of Harry Potter." To me, that's what it's like. You really, really, all these ideas and stuff like this, you can't come up with something new. You got to do something that's already been before. That's what I like about remakes.
Yeah, well, I know with like remakes, remakes normally aren't better than the original, so I kind of get that.
Right, right. Another thing too, I don't like. Here's a bad storytelling. Is I hate when they don't share important information. I hate plots from misunderstandings. Important information should be shared.
Yeah, and like if they would have said whatever they needed to say in that one moment, a lot of stuff wouldn't have happened because of it.
Lost in Space is full of let's just not give them the full story. You know what I'm saying? Or people just not verifying information. And I said to me that's bad storytelling. I absolutely I don't like that. That's another thing I absolutely did not like about the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, there was some predictable. It was a predictable.
Extremely predictable.
Yeah.
From the start of the beginning of it, you know exactly where things are going.
Where everything was going to lead to. Yeah.
And to me, that's definitely a problem. Definitely a problem. Because we should be surprised.
Yeah.
We should be surprised. And that means to me, if it's so predictable that you're not really trying hard with your writing style, you're going the easy route. Your thing is basically it's one way direction. It's not no turns, no curves,
Yeah.
nothing.
I think one bad thing like having to do with like a predictable plot is with the romances. With
Romance.
with Penny and VJ, this girl from the moment she sees the dude, the lights are shining in her eyes because she's ready to get with this dude. And like it's so noticeable, and I feel like her character, like she's more of a, I don't know, what's the word, like
She's a strong character.
yeah, she's a strong character. She has what is the word, like she's not sly, like she's slick, like she has
Right. She's sarcastic.
yeah.
And she's not a pushover type of a character.
Yeah, so I feel like when
They did her wrong.
Yeah, when she sees the dude, you could tell when they interact that she really likes him. And normally, like with other people, at least when they have like a crush on someone, they don't show their true feelings until they know that other person also likes them back.
Right, and also too, you got to look at too. She's not young. She's a high school student. You know what I'm saying? If you want to say this is her first year off away from home, away from Earth. So she's been in school. She's been around other boys before. So it's not her first time ever meeting a guy. So she should have better reacting. She should have better type of interaction with other people.
Yeah.
And I said it was blatantly so obvious, so over the top. And it was almost like if you ever seen Chinese anime or Chinese type of things where they have the young boy meets the girl and his nose starts running. It's so awkward, so obvious and blatant,
Yeah.
and that's what this kind of reminds you of with that. So I definitely did not like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Another thing I totally gets me about everything is political correct agendas. How like whenever there's a show coming off. They have to hit certain bullet points, like we got to get diversity, we got to change somebody's sexuality, someone's race, or someone's gender. These
Going on
things.
that,
I told it turns me off.
yeah.
It turns me off 100%.
Going on that, they changed Judy's race. She's now black, but they done it in a way that it was okay. Like everybody was okay with it because they said that she was not John's biological daughter and that Maureen had a kid with somebody else. So it was
I could feel
explainable
that.
as to why she wasn't white this time. Like in the old television series,
Right.
she was white. And also with Dr. Smith, they changed
Yeah.
Dr. Smith, instead of being a man, he's a woman. So it goes because there's a point and there's a reason for it. So it was okay.
Right. And as I said, I don't. These are things that I said. It's all BST. It's bad storytelling. However,
They
I
did it
can
in a way
say
that it was tasteful.
right. So even having said that, even though I don't like these things added to every single story out right now, if it's done in the correct way, if it's done tastefully, it's understandable and it's acceptable. Where in Lost in Space, I can say that though they had these issues, you're totally fine with Judy being black. You're totally fine with Dr. Smith being a woman. It has nothing. It's nothing about being politically correct. I feel it shouldn't be in every single story because we don't need that. I don't have to. Oh, I don't identify with anybody in the story.
Yeah, it's fiction, so
It's fiction,
it shouldn't
right?
have to
Right. It should take
be
us away
strong.
from our normal life. It shouldn't be about politics. It shouldn't be about anything that we see. It's fantasy. Let it be fantasy. We are not offended that we don't see someone who looks exactly like me in a story. I just want a good story. And you don't have to hit every single bullet point to think that everybody's offended that every single color in the rainbow is not represented in your story. So, as I said, they did this in Lost in Space, but it was done tastefully that you just get away with it.
Yeah.
Right. They have something else that's very good about Lost in Space is the character development. They spend time. They go back through flashbacks and tell you about the Robinson family. Mostly, it's mostly about
Yeah.
and their Robinson family. But as I said, they break down and tell you about the characters, so you actually feel invested in the characters. You actually like the characters. You actually want to see what happens to the characters, as opposed to something just I'm gonna throw this character out here. I'm not gonna tell you anything about him. And when things happen to that person, you really don't care.
Yeah, I see that. I think my favorite characters, I'm just gonna throw that out
Hmm.
there, it would be Judy, Dr. Smith, and Will. And
Why?
for that reason, it's because Judy, she was just like a strong character.
Right.
I
I
think.
get that.
And all the actors did such an amazing job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree.
It would also be Will because I feel like the story wouldn't have gone on without the things that he has done. Like
Yes.
he's a major part
Right.
in the whole thing. And Dr. Smith because I just like how she's a all out villain.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
there's
Oh,
nothing
okay.
to it. She's just a villain.
Okay, well, since you gave those, I'll talk about three. John. Okay, John was played by Toby Stevens, right?
Mhm.
Toby Stevens. And matter of fact, Toby Stevens was actually in Black Sails.
Was he?
Yeah, in Black Sails. Very, very good. He played Captain Flint. He was a Marine, strong character, the father. In the beginning, however, they put him down. No matter what he said, it was all like, well, I talked about Marine, but no matter what he said, he was pushed aside like he
Yeah.
was a nobody.
But they had a reason for
Right,
that.
right, okay, I give it to that. Maureen was absolutely great. She was the mother, she was the matriarch of the family. Then, as I said, here's another one of the best storytelling, and I have to say is how you have to always say in every single thing that a woman is in charge. Now, I'm not breaking down on this in this one, you know what I'm saying? But it was thrown all out there that the women have to be in charge of this, and she was everything that he said was like. Don't listen to your father, and like the minute, and many of these things now are put as complete idiots and buffoons, and like the bad characters. And they did that in the beginning in this. However, as you said, they had a reason why she was the one on top and the one in charge. And in the end, the way it ended up turned around is they had their issues, with their family and stuff like that. But in the end, they came together as a family and they realized, hey, the mom, you're a strong woman. As I said, Maureen, the mother's a very, very strong character. She was needed. You know what I'm saying? She was essential to the everybody's development on the planet, not just the Robinsons, everybody. The father, John, was also needed, but he was essential to the family, and they saw how basically the mother and father came back together. Once you see the tar pit scene, you will absolutely love them. You know what I'm saying? Because they put all their stuff. I don't want to give it, but it turns out to be a nice family story. Because the family come together and it shows how everybody's needed. Mother's needed, father needed. Each one of the kids was essential. From Will, Penny, Judy, all of them essential. But when I speak about one other person I have to talk about is Don.
Oh yeah.
Don was absolutely amazing. He started out to being a scoundrel. He was a scoundrel.
He kind of reminded me of Han Solo.
He was Han Solo, 100% he was Han Solo. He was even called a smuggler. Even one part of the thing, he even called Judy the princess, like Princess Leia. So his character development was excellent. You saw where John was and how he ended up becoming an essential part of the Robinson family. If I can cheat one more time, I have one person I want to put out there, the robot. I absolutely love the robot.
Why is that?
Because he's a robot. Who doesn't want a robot? It was just he was so cool though.
Yeah, he was cool. The thing is, he reminded me of Ultron, and I feel like if you're going to go out and you're going to make a robot, make him cool, make him original.
Well, okay, it's a remake, so absolutely
No,
there's nothing original in
okay,
this
I know
thing.
it's a remake, but it's not a remake of Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Point taken. Point taken. However, I love the robot. You will love the robot. I'm pretty sure the robot is absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I like the robot. I just didn't like
Right? He looked exactly like Ultron. I mean, he was
the
Ultron.
only difference is the face. He made the
Yeah,
face
it was Ultron. I agree 100%. But I mean, he was his relationship with Will, his romance concerns. That was Will's romance. Will and the robot were like they was playing catch together. It was his best friend. It was his best friend. So I love the development between Will and the robot, and actually how the robot actually became a part of the Robinson family. Had ups and downs, but that's another thing I absolutely totally love about it too. Um, so the Robinsons Lost in Space, Stranded in Space Without Fuel was about family.
Yeah, I thought I really liked that it was about family and like how everybody was essential to it. That was a really good
Exactly.
like
Right, and in the end, they all came together. They all came together. They even hit on forgiveness. They have forgiveness in there.
yeah
Because I mean,
with Angela. I'm not giving any
yeah,
spoilers, but she did some things that really were kind of wild.
reprehensible.
Yeah, but in the end, they all forgave her, so I thought that was nice.
Right. So um,
They have good morals.
good morals. Yeah. So okay, well let's wrap this up. We don't want to get too long. We're kind of reaching the time. So I mean, so what would you recommend this and why?
I
Well,
definitely would. I like the family points, and I also like that it was on Netflix, so they gave out like the full season, so we didn't have to wait.
we
We just
binge watched it.
binge
We
watched
watched
the
the whole
whole thing.
entire thing. It wasn't tiresome. It wasn't something that you'd be like, man, I don't. I'll wait till later. You actually wanted to see
Yeah.
next thing come out.
What would you
I
recommend?
mean, yeah, I would recommend it too. I said, besides the things that I don't like about it. I don't like the fact it's a remake. I don't like the
There were
predictability
some
and stuff
issues.
like that. And so it had its issues. However, I said it was a good family show. Something that you could watch with your family, your kids. I think it was. It had the family value with forgiveness, and overall, I would say the good outweighs the negative, and I would definitely watch. I would definitely watch this. I would definitely recommend it. And if they come back to the next season, I would just hope that they fix some of the things, some of the predictable nature of the plots.
Yeah.
And yeah, they have a lot of holes in the thing. And even how the ship was like invulnerable. It could be underwater, under ice, under rocks, and the ship would just come up. All you was fuel.
It was completely indestructible.
Yeah, come on, and that's some things about it were like kind of far, stretching. But as I said, overall, I would say I would definitely recommend it. And if they go to the next one, you will finally see that the way it ended up in the very end of it, they finally right now they truly are finally lost in space. So this was a prelude. It's like they were just stranded. Now they're actually lost. So I believe now they can actually explore and go much further. But please fix some of these plot holes. But regardless, I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching. That was our video. Let us know what you guys thought. Like, comment, subscribe.
Please do. Peace out.